Good morning, fishy folks. Happy Friday. I am back from Japan. I got back last night. It was about a 19-hour overall round trip from the airport, or from my hotel to my house. The flight was about 45 minutes early. However, immigration really wasn't ready for an extra plane. I waited there for over an hour. Anyway, I did come down to the fish room yesterday, and we'll talk about what I found. But for the most part, the fish room is untouched for 14 days. So let's take a look, shall we? All right, fishy folks. First, I'd like to just make mention about that the fish room has stayed clean for the last 2 weeks. I did a really hard job while I was in Japan, not making my fish room dirty. Or messy, I should say. There is a door to a Lazy Susan in my kitchen that apparently fell off while I was gone that I have to take a look at and fix. But also, I know you guys are thinking, Mike, that shirt you're wearing is pretty cool. How can I get one? Well, it's Fish Freaks Plus t-shirt. I'll put a link in the description below, both to Teespring, where you can buy the t-shirt, as well as Tyler's website, fishfreaksplus.com. As you guys know, that's where I get all my food, and I pretty much feed that exclusively. Occasionally I'll drop in some frozen bloodworms or brine shrimp or live brine shrimp when I feel like making it, but for the most part, that's all we have. All right, let's take a look. Where should we start? Down low? Good idea. Okay, in this messy tank, we have 3 Apistogramma cocotoides orange flash. There's the male, and there's 2 smaller females. By the way, this is going to be a long tour, so grab some popcorn, perhaps a beverage, a nice cold beverage of your choice. That might be nice. Speaking of popcorn, really snacks. I was in Japan, and they have these pizza-flavored chips. Oh my gosh, they're delicious. All right, I digress. Sorry. So my middle son fed my fish while I was gone. I asked him to feed them every 3 or 4 days, and I showed him the proper amount, and he said that's what he did. So I'm not so sure he fed this fish, this tank, since there's pretty much 0 duckweed left. But maybe. The water is still quite clear. I'm actually pretty happy about that. There are 2 box filters in here that are filled with gunk, so I do have some maintenance to do. I did some maintenance yesterday when I got home, not thinking I should probably film it first, but that, we'll talk about that in a minute. So if you remember, this tank had the creamsicle layer-tail mollies in it, and I dropped a male black molly in it, not really thinking too much about it, and then a month later I had babies that look like this, which are pretty cool, but, you know, they're kind of like mutt mollies. You know, this is just a molly tank. It's kind of a growing for profit and breeding for profit tank. I sell the water wisteria out of here, and I sell the mollies out of here. It's kind of a project tank. It's a 30 breeder, so it's nice and low and long. However, with the fish room upgrade, I'll probably be taking this tank down and putting 2 or 3 20s in its place. I think 3 20s will go in its place. Not really sure yet. We'll see what happens. Yeah. All right. I did fire up the heater last night in here. Water temperatures were in the low 70s. And now, let's see, I did have a thermometer. So that tank is 73.8. That heater is unplugged back there. Let's see what we got over here. This tank is 72.4, so it's still a little warm. It's still a little cool in here, these tanks, but they were 2 to 3 degrees cooler. These are the Koi Angels. I have 6 left. They are all for sale. If Super Breeder Steve wants them, I will sell them to him, and we'll work something out as far as a trade, I'm sure. If not, and you're interested, certainly give me a call. I prefer not to ship these because some of them are, it's going to be expensive to ship them. Some of those big ones, I like to ship Angels because they're so tall in a tall box, and that means not priority. But if you're interested, let me know. Shoot me an email. We'll figure it out. I am seeing water on the floor, and I don't know where that came from. That's interesting. We'll figure that out in a minute. All right. Chocolate mollies, milk chocolate, dark chocolate, double dark chocolate. all different kinds. You can see there's some fry, not a ton, but you know, we're letting these guys grow out over the winter. And as soon as I start stelling in the spring, they'll be available. I want this colony to explode. It appears there is a not a guppy, a endler left in there. I'm really not too concerned about. Alright, up top. So I thought I sold all of my koi swordtails to turbofish, and when I was gonna sell him the whole colony, I couldn't fit these 3 adults without compromising the shipping, and he didn't want to pay for extra shipping, which I completely understand. So I have this trio left, as well as a juvenile and about 10 fry in the 55, which I'll show you in a minute. Here are the high fin swordtails I got from an auction. I forget how little I paid, but they were tiny. They're putting on some size and growing quite nice. Unfortunately, the last time I looked, I think I have all females. If I do, I'd be shocked that actually they are all females. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, all females. Well, that kind of sucks. I don't know if the seller did that on purpose. They were pretty small and pretty hard to sex, but I guess anything's possible. So I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with this wasted tank now. You know, when you breed for profit and you don't have a male, and they're probably all virgins, so yeah, I might have to figure out something. Throw maybe a male neon sword if I can find it in here, and hope for the best. These are the swordtails that came from the blue-black swordtail tank, which is down here, and they're all in the back. I don't know if you can see with the glare. I do have to put a little reflector on this tank, but so these blue-black swordtails, I forget what they were made from. James Perna, the guy I bought them from, told me where they were made, what they were made from, but these are some of the offspring that aren't breeding blue-black. They're pretty bland. In fact, now that I think about it, I may take that male, put him in this tank when those females get a little bigger, and let him do some work and see what we get out of it. That's not a bad idea. Hey, that's a good idea. Alright, here's the casualty tank. You can see this really nice Apistogramma Double Red, right? If you remember, there was another male and a female in here, dead. Found them dead. Fuzzed over. There was a ton of algae in this tank too. I don't know what happened. You can see there's some brown algae back on the overflow. Now this light is fairly new. It's about probably a month old since I installed it, but man, that is a good looking fish. Look at that. I don't know what happened. My assumption is one died and that polluted the water, and the other one died. I don't know why they would be weak like that, especially with, you know, water changes daily, 20% water changes daily. Like I said, I was told by my son and my wife that he fed them every 3 to 4 days, which should be fine. So I don't really know what happened. I'm a little disappointed, to be honest, because this was going to be a breeding project, so now I have to start again with 2 more females, but we'll see what happens. By the way, this is what the bottom of a tank looks like when it hasn't been vacuumed for 2 weeks, a bare bottom tank. Now, personally, I'm not so sure they were only fed 3 or 4 times, because that's a lot of detritus, and I'm pretty sure this tank was fairly clean before I left. We have a lid in the water, but that's not a big deal. So yeah, that's interesting, because look at this tank, hardly any. So like I said, we have some maintenance to do this weekend. I'll probably be cleaning out cleaning filters out and stuff, and I do have to film what I bought in Japan, so you guys will see that as well on Sunday. I think I'm going to film that video, or it'll be released Sunday. I don't know when it'll be filmed, but here's the pink panda platy tank. You can see there's about 169,000 fry in there. Quite pregnant females. So these guys are growing out nice. Yeah, I kind of like these guys. I have never seen them in stores, so that's kind of neat for me, at least. Oh no, that's not a baby. That's the juvenile I got. Here are the real red-eyed albino guppies I got from Super Breeder Steve. No fry. I little shocked. I thought there'd be fry in this tank when I got home, but no fry. But everybody's doing well. Black Laertail Molly tank. It looks like we have a Dalmatian Molly that popped up. I'm trying to keep this strain black, pure black, to sell. So I will take this gray one out and throw them in the Mutt Molly tank. Also, after the expansion, I'm going to be pulling out Laertails separately and selling those separately. So we'll have Laertails and regular Mollies. Laertails go for more money at my local fish store. This also is pretty much, I mean, if you want them, I'll ship them to you, but there's really nothing special about them. They're just black Mollies. Looks like we have something wrong with this one. I'm going to have to investigate this. See the white on the side? I think it's just an injury maybe, but yeah, I gotta take a look at that and see what that is. Alright, this tank is coming down. It's got a big pleco, which I'll be, if you want it, let me know. I'll ship it to you. I don't know how heck I would ship it to you, but I will. If you're local, that's even better. We'll work something out cheap. But this was the neon swordtail tank that I thought I sold the colony, and then I found about 10 fry afterwards. So yeah, I'll probably just be selling the fry real cheap, or dropping the fry into that high fin tank. I don't know. Again, if you're interested, let me know. There's one jacked up koi swordtail female. Her back's bent. Alright, again, little surprising, no fry in this gold dust high fin molly tank. I thought for sure that I would come home to fry also, but maybe it hasn't been warm enough. I don't know. If you remember, these were the fish that were outside that I saw a few fry at one point, and then when I went to clean them out, there was one, and now there's none. I don't know what happened to that other fry. I guess it was a delicious little snack. So, a little disappointed with these guys. I probably should be concentrating a little bit more. And then there's also water on top, which means something was leaking from up top. I don't see where it would be leaking from, so I have to investigate that as well. All right. Mutt Guppy tank, really nothing to say. They're Mutt Guppies, lots of fry. I don't care so much about this tank because they're just Mutt Guppies, but so there isn't a whole lot of Java Moss because I pulled the Java Moss out, but I'm hoping with these new lights we get some good, quick Java Moss growth. I'm a little surprised there isn't more down here, but yeah. All right. What are these? Pink Pastel Steel Nebulas. Colony's going great. You can see some different color variations there and there. I do have a second tank of these guys with lots of fry, which we'll talk about in a minute. High fin Laertail Swordtails. I do have an order of these going out on Monday, so I will be picking a bunch of females and one male. Man, that is a nice looking female right there. Lots of frying here growing out. There's the mom down there, and what is that in the middle? Stand by. Gotta get my poking stick. This is what happens when you don't edit. Oh, it's alive. It's alive! It was just resting. That'll probably be the male that I send. That's a good looking male. Alright. Where are we at? Oh. Alright. A little more disturbing news up top, but I'll tell you about that in a second. So here's my extra male tank, extra male guppy tank. There's some gorgeous steel nebulas and an American koi guppy. I think that's it that's in here. This is just male, so there's no coverage because there's no babies being born. And it's basically just so they don't harass the females and eat the fry. American purple delta tail guppy, fry grown out. These are from Hypnotic Aquatics. Go check out hypnoticaquatics.com for fancy guppies and beautiful angels. Okay, here's the disturbing news. This is the steel nebula tank, and I did give a pair to my buddy Ryan, And I think I've sold maybe one pair special. I do not see an adult female in here. I checked last night. I poked around with my poking stick. So I'm not so sure what's going on with this tank right now. I do have, like I said, quite a few males over here, but I do need some breeder females. There is some frying here, so it's possible we're just gonna have to start over, but to be honest, I'm a little disappointed. I'm very disappointed. I don't think it's anything that anybody did. I don't really know what happened, and the female could be in here just hiding, giving birth, but I looked pretty good. So wish me luck with this tank. I get questions about the steel nebulas every week. Are they ready? Are they ready? Are they ready? They are not ready, and this might have delayed the whole process. All right, red blonde guppies, really nothing special. These were originally PetSmart guppies, so but the colony is breeding like guppies. Yeah, nothing really to stay there. All right, purple guppies. I sold a pair of these, or a trio of these, to Angelo, and he's raving about the male I sent. It was gorgeous. Had a little yellow stripe in its tail. Go check out his video. I'll try to link it right here so you guys can see if I remember during the editing process. But this is also pretty much just growing out. I think I'm gonna, depending on how big this colony is, I'll bring these to the NEC show in March to sell because they're a little rare, and I think it'll be good. So Tanaka Maple Leaf guppies. There's a couple frying here. Guppies are doing well. Looking forward to growing this colony out as well. You can see the Java moss is growing nice. Half black guppies from Ryan Anderson, also doing fantastic. Lots of frying here, just growing out. Japanese blues. I sold a lot of this colony off about a month ago, so this colony's in a rebuilding process right now. You can see some little tiny fry for Fry Friday right there. Yeah, I really like these guys. They're small enough you could keep them in a nano tank, especially if you just had males. The females are a little bigger, but and they're gorgeous enough that they'll stand out in a bigger tank with the blue and the little yellow lower swordtail. Occasionally I'll pop a double swordtail out. They'll pop a double swordtail out. I don't pop anything out. Yeah. Blue diamond colony is doing well. Sold a bunch of these to a breeder, and I think out in Washington. Hopefully they're doing well for him. But these are pretty prolific. If you're looking for a good starter guppy that's a little rare, that looks great as a male, this is one of those guppies I would sell you if you asked me. They're inexpensive enough where you can start a colony fairly cheaply, but they're a little more rare than your typical fancy. So if you're looking to start breeding and this floats your boat, shoot me an email, michaelsfishroom@gmail.com. The website, www.michaelsfishroom, will be up and running shortly, where you'll be able to buy guppies as well. Maybe by the end of this weekend. Maybe by the time this is posted, but I doubt it. All right. Cobra guppies. These are green cobras and red cobras. There's a ton in here. This will be a fish I'll be bringing to the NEC show as well, because they're fantastic looking. Jaroe lazuli guppies. I couldn't find the female last night. I didn't look very hard. There is a ton of frying here. The male looks fantastic. Look at him. Just look at him. That's freaking beautiful. So I do have to find the female. Hopefully she didn't pass. As we all of us guppy breeders know, sometimes females just pass. Stress from breeding, you know, that kind of stuff. So, to be honest, my arm's getting tired holding my phone up. I'm really out of shape. Another Cobra Guppy tank. These are greens and reds also. I sort of try to put reds in here, greens in the other, but because they're just a variation and red is more dominant, it's supposed to be a more dominant gene, but I tend to get more greens out, at least in the tail pattern. These guys are fantastic. That's why I keep 2 tanks in case one tank happens to go south. But again, I'll be bringing these to the NEC show, so if you're interested in Connecticut in March, let me know. Red tuxedo guppies. Colony's doing well. Remember, I got these from a buddy who they had babies in his tank, and his daughter was all upset because the babies were being eaten. He got these at Petco. I got them. We had a disaster in the tank, but a bunch survived, and the colony is growing out quite nice. This also is another good starter guppy if you're interested. I mean, you know, you got this male here with the great dorsal fin, great tail pattern, also fairly inexpensive for a fancy guppy. Alright, this is a problem tank for me. These are the angels that were gifted to me from Daniel Anderson. They're in a 5-gallon tank. They were dime size when I got them. Now they're quarter size, and they really need a bigger tank, and I have really no tank space for them. So I probably will be putting them... I'm considering putting a 55 upstairs where my 30 is, and if I do that, I'll put them in there. If not, I am not sure what I'm going to do with them. So, yeah, they are gorgeous, though. I don't want to sell them because they were a gift. Anyway, this is a little concerning, the emptiness of this tank. I did drain water in here, but I thought we filled it up. So let me see what's going on there. But these are the blue zebra angel babies that I have left. All the adults I have sold. Just really not into angels right now. I'm sure I'll get back into them, but so these will be for sale shortly. I know Angelo from Canada was interested. Maybe when the spring comes along, or we get a warm snap and I can send them to him, I certainly will. Your typical red wag platy, pretty much dark red or kind of a dark orange color. Also, just strictly to sell to my local fish store. Of course, if you want them, I will sell them to you, but you can get them pretty much anywhere. These may also go away. I may need the tank space for something a little bit more profitable, like the Apistogramma cocotoides I want to do. Or, I know these are coming out of here. They might go into a 20 high, or they might just go away. I'm not really sure. Alright. Fish room tour continues with my second colony of black panda platies. These are 9 females and 1 male. And while I was gone, somebody dropped fry. Let's see if we can get a better shot. Can you see the fry in there? I don't know if you can, if the camera's picking it up, but yeah, there's one moving around right in the middle. There's about 15 fry in there, so that's pretty nice. American koi guppies. She dropped before I left. I was real excited. Remember, this is the video where I was like, "Oh my god!" And some guy commented, "Was that real?" Dude, apparently you don't watch my videos. Lots of maintenance in this tank. I need to do. You can see the top of the filter is covered with food and stuff. So, yellow cobra guppies. This was the pond colony, but now it's not a pond colony. Growing nice. Looks like I have lots of females. That's interesting. Another pond guppies. These were a red cobra and a yellow cobra, and that's what we got. Growing out nice. That red one is pretty fantastic. He's not for sale. He's a breeder for me. So, no. All right. We'll go down here. Blue black swordtail. We talked about this a little while ago. Nothing special going on in here. Just growing these guys out. They'll be for sale shortly. Alright. This tank is pissing me off, people. This is the half black pastel AOC guppy tank. And actually, I don't see my male. But this tank did have the blue black swordtails in it, and I moved them out because the brown back, which is how I bought the tank, kind of was making them look dull. So I pulled them out, but you can see there is one female swordtail in there, and I'm not sure if she's hunting all the fry or not. But I've only gotten one baby, which is that one, out of this pair, out of this trio, and it's pretty concerning because this tank should be full of guppies. So every time I say I need to investigate, I try to investigate and I don't come with anything. I've been trying to catch that swordtail for I probably have tried 3 or 4 times. Let's see if we can try while you're watching. This should be quite embarrassing. Where'd it go? Here, fishy, 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 fishy. Here, fishy, 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 fishy. See? I can't even see it, quite frankly, so. Alright, that was enough trying. Hyphen Sunset Platy. Good looking fish. If you remember the story about these, I won them in an auction, and they dropped fry pretty much right away. I've sold a few. I actually have sold the parents. So this is second generation, third generation. Yeah. All right. Water on the floor. This will all be changing when the fish room renovation happens, hopefully between Christmas and Thanksgiving. I lied, between Christmas and New Year's. Alright, these were the bluegrass guppies I got from Corey at Aquarium Co-op maybe last November. I think I've had this colony for about a year. They were breeding true for quite a while, and then an Endler got in here and destroyed the line. So pretty much these are mutt guppies, and I'm pretty sure when I move, these are all going to go in the mutt guppy tank. There's still quite a few fry, or they still produce lots of fry. And the males look great, but I can't really call them bluegrass because they're not bluegrass anymore. I'd love to show you a male, but apparently they're all hiding right now, so you'll just have to stay tuned. Oh, there you might be able to see the reflection in the back. No, come on, there's a male. I don't know if you saw it, but all right. The second colony of black panda guppies. There was some fry dropped in here. Looks like a few days ago by the size of them. I have separated a colony, so now I have two of these because this is my biggest seller, black panda guppies. I also got these from Corey at Aquarium Co-op at the same time as those bluegrass. I remember I was in an airport I think I was in Philadelphia airport flying to Toronto, and I saw that he put live fish for sale. He had a video, and that he was shipping fish, and I ordered right away. I thought it was the coolest thing to get guppies from Corey. So, Corey, if you're watching, thank you. This is the second colony of pink pastel steel nebula guppies. I had a ginormous female, and I took her out and dropped her in here just to see what would happen, and she dropped all these fry. This might be two separate drops, but there's got to be 50 or 60 guppies in here. She passed away before I went to Japan, so I'm just growing these out separately to see how they look. We'll see what happens. I may put fry packs up for sale on the website. We'll see what happens. All right, red brick swordtails. These guys drop out of the red wag swordtails I have above. This was the everything I separated, and there have been some fry born in here. It's a 10-gallon tank. It's too small really to do breeding for swordtails, so there isn't a whole lot of growth going on here. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep these after the move. I think I will because they're pretty neat, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, German half black AOC guppies. Lots of fry in here, lots of growth. All right, German half black AOC guppies. Colony's doing well. Slow growers, but a great looking guppy. This is a good mid-level guppy if you're looking for something to breed for profit. Not too common, certainly not rare by any means, and also not too expensive. Prolific breeders, so if you're looking for a mid-level guppy to get into, this is the one I would suggest. Alright, my red Russian lace colony is finally starting to take off. They're pretty skittish, they're hiding in the back. I don't know if you can see how gorgeous that male looks back there. No, you can't, because the camera isn't focusing. Anyway, they are gorgeous. Sort of becoming a favorite of mine in the fish room, which is shocking because they're so shy. Almost done. His tail looks jacked up. Look at it. Huh. These are red brick swordtails. I have a blood red female and a blood red wag male. I just named them blood. I don't know what they are, but that kind of sells, right? I just made the name up. Anyway, I got these, I think, for $1 each. I got a trio, and they produce a ton of fry. and I sell them, and they're pretty plain. But that's that. You can see one of those red brick juveniles that was born in here. I gotta pull that one, put him with his brothers and sisters. All right, 2 more tanks left. We'll skip this tank on the bench. This tank was pretty much empty when I left, but I forgot to do something with the auto water change system, so it filled up. Really not a big deal. There's a juvenile empty container I have, an old empty container. But there's a juvenile koi swordtail in here. There it is, right there. And there's about 10 or 12 fries. So here's what I want to do. I do have somebody interested. I'm going to give him for a shot. But I'm going to sell the trio I have of adults and everything in this tank at a really good price. I think normally they're $8 each. That would be $24 for the adults. And plus all these fry, plus $20 shipping is $44. So I'm thinking for, I don't know, maybe $40 I'll sell everything I have left. This was the colony. I thought I sold it. I wanted to sell everything to Turbo Fish, but I didn't have enough room. So actually there's 2 juveniles in here. How about a sub-adult and a juvenile? Yeah, that's what we'll call them. All right, last but not least, I moved Bruce into this tank because the other tank was cracked and kind of hidden, and I was afraid my son was going to forget to feed him. So Bruce is in this tank doing well. Really no big deal. Why isn't this heater on? That's interesting. Oh, there it goes. It's on. So put that like that. Thank you. Sorry. And it fell. So we moved Bruce just to this tank temporarily. I'm going to do another planted tank for him with nice substrate and a light and blah, blah, blah. But for now, this is where he is. This is my packing table. So just to reiterate the new upgrade, this rack is going to go here. The big tanks on the bottom are going away. I'm going to put 20 highs and 10s where I can fit them. The 55 sump in the back is going to be changed to a lower tank. I may put that 30 breeder back there because it's so low that I probably can get away with putting tanks on that shelf down there and still being able to drain it. The other idea is I have another 15, which is pretty much the same height, but it's drilled, so I'd have to block that off, which really isn't a big deal. If I can get away with putting the 15 there, I will, because it takes up less space in the back. I don't want a flood when I'm doing water changes, auto water change. So I kind of got to figure that out. The tanks here will be moved to, the bottom racks. And then this rack obviously is moving. This table is going away. That 55 is going away. That workbench is going to be my packing table because I've been shipping so many fish. I need more space than this little table I made. I made this table probably 15 years ago to hold a table saw, and it worked great, and it cost me nothing. I had all the wood. Actually, I think the wood was scrapped now that I think about it. Anyway, I digress. 55 is going away, workbench, and then we're going to build a shelf here, and on this side is going to be 20 highs or 10s, and over here will be probably a 90 and a 75 and perhaps a saltwater tank. We'll see. All right, fishy folks, thanks for hanging for so long. I babbled. I had some bad camera work, but that's what happens. I'm just a lonely guy breeding fish in my basement, making YouTube videos, and I don't have any camera skills or editing skills, so please forgive me. I leave you with some of the Fish Fam stickers, and if you want to buy any fish, please shoot me an email, michaelsfishroom@gmail.com, and the website will be up and running shortly. So I will announce that on YouTube and probably plaster all over Facebook and stuff so people can find out. Hope everyone has a great day. Happy Fry Friday. All right, fishy folks. creamsicle airtails, and so now we have just mutt muppies. Mutt muppies? I wish. Mutt guppies. Anywho, I forgot where I was. I'm gonna have to start over. I paused the video to take a picture because I'm an idiot. Stand by. But like I said, when it gets warmer, I didn't say I'm babbling, and I'm saying a lot. This is kind of silly. This will be a blooper. All right, enough said about those guys.